12 life lessons you should know to improve your life forever. Stoicism. Have you ever found yourself wondering what truly makes life worth living? What if there were timeless principles that could help you lead a more fulfilling, balanced, and meaningful life? Well, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're about to uncover the 12 life lessons. Drawn from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, lessons that can forever transform how you approach every challenge, every relationship, and every opportunity in your life. These teachings have withstood the test of time, guiding countless individuals towards a life of greater clarity, resilience, and inner peace. From learning how to control what you can and let go of what you can't, to discovering the power of mindfulness and acceptance, each lesson holds a profound secret that can help you navigate life's ups and downs with grace and wisdom. And wait until you hear the last lesson. It's a game changer that might just shift your perspective in ways you never imagined. But before we dive in, if you're finding value in these discussions and want to keep exploring how Stoicism can enrich your life, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Stoic in Your Life, and click the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Now, let's take the first step on this transformative journey together. Lesson 1. The power of silence. The more you say, the less people remember. The fewer the words, the greater the profit. François Fenelon. Have you ever noticed the power of a quiet mind? In a world filled with noise, opinions, and endless chatter, the virtue of silence is often overlooked. But today, we explore why silence is one of the most powerful tools you can wield in life. Think about the greatest minds in history. Many of them were not the loudest in the room, but rather the ones who spoke with purpose, thought with clarity, and understood the importance of silence. Silence is not merely the absence of sound. It is a profound state of being that allows us to connect deeply with ourselves and with the world around us. This first lesson in our journey into Stoic wisdom will illuminate why cultivating the power of silence can improve your life forever. Silence is a tool for introspection and self-awareness, allowing us to step back and observe our thoughts and emotions without the distractions of the external world. As Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This ancient wisdom encourages us to spend more time listening and reflecting, rather than speaking impulsively. In our modern lives, filled with constant notifications and social media chatter, silence becomes even more critical. It offers a sanctuary where we can reflect on our thoughts, question our assumptions, and cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. By embracing silence, we learn to listen not just to others, but to our own inner voice, which can guide us toward making wiser decisions. Moreover, silence is a demonstration of strength and self-control. When faced with provocation or conflict, the immediate urge might be to react, to defend oneself, or to retaliate with words. However, the Stoics teach us that true power lies in restraint. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles." In moments of tension, choosing silence over impulsive speech shows mastery over one's emotions. It demonstrates patience, wisdom, and a deep understanding that not every battle is worth fighting. This self-control allows us to navigate conflicts with grace, preserving our dignity and often diffusing potentially explosive situations. In our professional lives, silence can also be a powerful negotiating tool. By pausing before responding, we create space for thoughtfulness and clarity, allowing us to formulate more strategic and effective responses. It can unsettle opponents in negotiations or discussions, giving us an upper hand without uttering a word. This kind of mindful silence can be a game changer in decision-making processes, making us appear more composed, confident, and in control. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something, Plato famously noted. This quote underscores the importance of speaking with purpose and clarity, rather than filling the air with needless words. Silence also cultivates deeper relationships. By actively listening, we demonstrate empathy and respect for the person speaking. This simple act of giving someone our undivided attention can strengthen bonds and build trust, both in personal and professional settings. Listening more and speaking less also helps us learn and grow by absorbing others' knowledge and experiences. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Let us be silent, that we may hear the whispers of the gods." This speaks to the importance of silence in enhancing our ability to perceive the subtleties in conversations and interactions that we might otherwise miss. In our personal development journey, silence fosters creativity and problem-solving skills. When we are silent, our minds are free from distractions, allowing for deeper thinking and the ability to connect disparate ideas. Many of history's greatest innovations and ideas were born in moments of quiet reflection. When we give ourselves the gift of silence, we open the door to our inner creativity and intuition, which are often drowned out by the noise of daily life. As Leonardo da Vinci said, "Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence." This sentiment captures the essence of using silence as a tool to command respect, build authority, and foster creativity. Furthermore, silence is a form of resistance against the pressures of conformity. In a society that often values the loudest voices, choosing silence can be a powerful statement of individuality and inner strength. It allows us to remain true to our values and principles, even when faced with external pressures to conform. As we practice silence, we become more attuned to our true selves, less swayed by the opinions of others and more focused on our path and purpose. This Stoic lesson encourages us to embrace our silence, not as a sign of weakness, but as a conscious choice to stand firm in our convictions. Finally, in the context of Stoicism, silence can be seen as a practice of humility. By speaking less and listening more, we acknowledge that we do not have all the answers and that there is always something to learn from others. This mindset fosters a growth-oriented approach to life, where we are constantly seeking to learn, grow, and improve. It aligns with the Stoic belief in the importance of lifelong learning and the pursuit of wisdom. Silence is a source of great strength, Lao Tzu wrote, capturing the essence of this powerful practice. In modern life, where we are constantly bombarded with information and opinions, cultivating the power of silence is more important than ever. It helps us filter out the noise, focus on what truly matters, and live more intentionally. As you navigate your own life, consider how you might incorporate more moments of silence into your day. Whether it's through meditation, mindful reflection, or simply pausing before speaking, embracing silence can lead to a more thoughtful, intentional, and fulfilled life. So, as we continue exploring these 12 life lessons rooted in Stoicism, remember this: silence is not just the absence of noise, but a powerful tool for personal growth, wisdom, and strength. It is a practice that can transform how you interact with the world, leading to deeper connections, greater self-awareness, and a more peaceful, purposeful existence. And as you apply this wisdom, you might just find that the power of silence is the key to unlocking a richer, more meaningful life. Lesson 2. Gratitude as a driver of happiness. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. Have you ever wondered how different your life might look if you saw every challenge as an opportunity, every setback as a lesson, and every day as a gift? Picture it this way: you have a unique pair of glasses that, when worn, transform the way you see the world. Problems start to look like puzzles waiting to be solved. Complaints shift into moments of appreciation, and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. This is the power of gratitude. It's like a mental reset button, offering a fresh perspective that can lead to greater happiness and fulfillment. You might think this sounds idealistic, but there's solid science behind it. Research from the University of California has shown that people who make a habit of practicing gratitude report being 25% happier, sleeping better, and even enjoying a stronger immune system. Imagine that, feeling more energized and content just by regularly acknowledging the good in your life. It's like finding a powerful medicine that doesn't come from a bottle, but from within yourself. But you might be wondering, how do I actually start cultivating gratitude in a meaningful way? Here's a practical, fun exercise you can try right away. Think of it as a gratitude treasure hunt. For 1 week, challenge yourself to find 3 things each day that you're grateful for. There's a twist. You can't repeat the same things 2 days in a row. It might sound easy, but by day 5, you might find yourself grateful for things you never noticed before, like the neighbor finally stopping their noisy late-night drumming or the unexpected kindness of a stranger holding the door for you. To those who are still skeptical, let me share a story that might shift your viewpoint. I met a woman named Maria who had endured one of life's most unimaginable hardships, losing everything in a house fire. Her home, her possessions, her cherished memories. Everything was gone in mere hours. When I spoke with her, I expected to see someone broken, overwhelmed by loss, but instead, Maria greeted me with a smile that was nothing short of radiant. She told me, "I'm grateful to be alive, to have my family safe, and for the strangers who showed us kindness in our darkest hours. This experience has taught me to value what truly matters." Maria discovered the profound power of gratitude during one of the most difficult times in her life, and it transformed her outlook entirely. This isn't just an emotional tale. It's a testament to the strength that gratitude can provide. Gratitude doesn't have to be reserved for extraordinary situations. Consider Tony Robbins, a well-known entrepreneur and motivational speaker, who practices a 90-second gratitude exercise every morning. He credits this simple habit with being a cornerstone of his success. If such a practice can work for someone who has achieved so much, imagine what it could do for us in our everyday lives. Could you start your day focusing on what you're thankful for, rather than what's missing or what's gone wrong? Now you might be thinking, but I have real problems, bills to pay, work stress, family issues. How can gratitude help with that? You're right. Gratitude won't magically pay your bills or transform your difficult boss into the world's kindest person overnight. But here's the secret. Gratitude gives you the strength, resilience, and positive mindset to face those challenges differently. It's like the old story of the optimist and the pessimist. The pessimist laments having no shoes, while the optimist feels grateful just to have feet. Gratitude helps you wear the optimist's shoes, or lack thereof, and approach life with a more empowered, hopeful perspective. So, why not start today? Before you go to bed tonight, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're thankful for. These could be as significant as having a loving family, or as simple as appreciating the fact that a pigeon didn't decide to drop a surprise on you during your lunch break. The point is to be consistent with this practice, and who knows, after a few weeks you might find yourself becoming that person others marvel at, the one who always has a smile on their face, who sees the good even in a traffic jam, and who seems to attract positive energy and success in everything they do. Gratitude isn't just a nice idea. It's a transformative practice that can profoundly change how you experience life. By embracing gratitude, you shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. You become more resilient, more connected to others, and more present in each moment. So, start cultivating gratitude today, and watch how it changes not only your perspective, but your entire life. Lesson 3. The Art of Letting Go. Letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. If, in our heart, we still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, or possessions, we cannot be free. Thich Nhat Hanh. Have you ever felt weighed down by something you couldn't change? A mistake from the past? A painful breakup? A job that didn't work out as planned? We all carry these burdens, often without realizing how much they impact our lives. But what if there was a way to release this weight and free yourself from the chains of the past? Let's explore the Stoic lesson of letting go, and how mastering this art can bring profound peace and clarity to your life. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering comes from our attachment to things beyond our control. As Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle encourages us to focus on our internal responses rather than external events which are often out of our hands. So, why do we cling so tightly to things that cause us pain? Is it fear of the unknown? A desire for control? The answer often lies in our natural human tendency to hold on to familiar feelings and experiences, even if they are negative. It's a paradox. We want to be happy, yet we cling to what makes us unhappy because it feels safer than facing the uncertainty of change. But here's the truth. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or surrendering to circumstances. It means freeing yourself from the emotional hold those circumstances have over you. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks everywhere you go. With each step, the weight becomes more burdensome, yet you keep going because you're used to it. Now, what if you could set down that backpack? How much lighter would you feel? How much further could you go? Letting go is about deciding to release those emotional burdens, the regrets, the grudges, the unfulfilled expectations that weigh us down and hold us back from living fully. It's about acknowledging that we can't change the past, but we can shape how it affects our present and future. Letting go also requires a deep level of self-awareness and acceptance. It means recognizing that not everything is within our power to change and being okay with that. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher, often reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is a call to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our reactions, and our actions. It's an invitation to practice mindfulness, to be present with our feelings without letting them dictate our lives. Have you ever noticed how much mental energy we waste on things we can't control? A missed promotion, a friend's betrayal, an unexpected expense. We replay these events in our minds, trying to find a different outcome, but all we do is exhaust ourselves. What if instead, we chose to release those thoughts and focus on what we can do right now to move forward? What if we accepted the situation, learned from it, and let it go? Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but if I let go, am I just avoiding my problems? Not at all. Letting go is not about avoidance, it's about facing your reality with honesty and courage. It's about saying, "This happened. It hurt. But it doesn't define me and it won't control my life." It's about finding the strength to forgive both others and yourself, and moving forward with a clearer mind and a lighter heart. Take the story of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist who wrote Man's Search for Meaning. Despite enduring unimaginable suffering in concentration camps, Frankl chose to focus on what he could control: his mindset and his attitude. He let go of anger and hatred, realizing that holding on to these emotions would only imprison him further. Instead, he found purpose in his suffering and turned his experience into a powerful message of hope and resilience. His story is a testament to the transformative power of letting go and focusing on what truly matters. Letting go can also improve our relationships. How often have you held on to a grudge, a misunderstanding, or a perceived slight, allowing it to fester and grow into a barrier between you and someone you care about? Imagine the peace and connection that could be restored if you chose to release that resentment. As Seneca wisely observed, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. Taking a step back, giving ourselves time to cool down, and then choosing to let go of anger or resentment can open the door to forgiveness and reconciliation. It allows us to approach our relationships with empathy and understanding, rather than with blame or bitterness. But letting go isn't always easy. It's a skill that takes practice. Start small. Next time you find yourself fixated on a mistake or a disappointment, pause and ask yourself, is this worth my peace of mind? Can I change the outcome? If the answer is no, then it might be time to release it. Picture your thoughts like leaves floating down a stream. Notice them, Acknowledge them, but don't hold on to them. Let them drift away. You'll find that as you practice this more, you'll feel a sense of relief and lightness that comes with not carrying unnecessary burdens. And remember, letting go is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice. Just as we must regularly declutter our homes to maintain a clean and peaceful environment, we must also declutter our minds of thoughts and emotions that no longer serve us. Life is constantly changing, and so must we. What can you let go of today that would bring you closer to inner peace? Could it be an old regret, a lingering resentment, or a fear that has been holding you back? The art of letting go is about choosing to live with a lighter heart and an open mind, ready to embrace whatever comes next without the weight of the past dragging you down. So, as you reflect on this lesson, ask yourself, what do I need to let go of to live more fully and freely? How can I apply the wisdom of the Stoics to release what's weighing me down? Remember, the art of letting go is not about losing something, but about gaining freedom, peace, and a deeper sense of happiness. By mastering this art, you open up space in your life for new experiences, new growth, and a more profound connection to your true self. So take a deep breath, let go, and see what happens. You might be surprised at how much lighter, freer, and happier you feel. Lesson 4. The importance of self-knowledge. Know thyself, a timeless saying attributed to the ancient Greeks, holds more power and relevance today than ever before. But how often do we take the time to truly know ourselves? In a world that constantly pushes us to look outward, comparing our lives to others through the lens of social media, or chasing external achievements and material success, we often neglect the profound wisdom of turning inward. Self-knowledge is not just about understanding your likes and dislikes. It's about a deep awareness of your values, your strengths, your weaknesses, and, most importantly, your purpose. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This statement is a call to action, urging us to first seek a deep understanding of ourselves, then align our actions and choices with that knowledge. Think for a moment about how many decisions we make daily without fully understanding the underlying motivations behind them. How many times have you pursued a career path, a relationship, or a goal, only to find yourself unfulfilled? The root of such dissatisfaction often lies in a lack of self-knowledge. When you don't know who you are or what you truly value, you risk living a life that doesn't align with your core self. It's like setting sail without a compass. You might be moving, but are you heading in the right direction? Knowing yourself provides that compass. It helps you understand what drives you, what brings you joy, and what you want your life to stand for. It brings clarity to your decisions and courage to your actions. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This advice suggests that understanding oneself is not about endlessly pondering what is right, but about embodying the virtues you believe in. Self-knowledge also serves as a foundation for personal growth. It allows you to recognize areas where you need improvement and empowers you to take meaningful steps toward becoming a better version of yourself. For example, let's say you struggle with anger. By acknowledging this and understanding the triggers that ignite your temper, you can work on strategies to manage and transform your anger into a more constructive force. As Socrates famously said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Self-reflection is essential to personal development because it helps you identify the beliefs and behaviors holding you back. Are there limiting beliefs you've adopted that prevent you from pursuing your true passions? Are there habits you've developed that drain your energy or hinder your progress? By knowing yourself, you gain the insight needed to address these issues and create a life that is authentically yours. Moreover, self-knowledge fosters resilience and inner strength. When you know who you are less likely to be swayed by external opinions or societal pressures. You become grounded in your truth, confident in your decisions, and unshakable in your resolve. This resilience is crucial in today's world, where we are constantly bombarded with messages about who we should be and what we should aspire to. Knowing yourself means you are less susceptible to the noise around you. You become the author of your own story, not a character in someone else's. Remember the words of Seneca. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. When you understand yourself, you build an inner fortress that external circumstances cannot easily breach. This internal fortitude allows you to navigate life's challenges with grace and composure. In our modern lives, self-knowledge can also improve relationships. When you understand your own needs, desires, and boundaries, you are better equipped to communicate them to others. This clarity helps you build healthier and more fulfilling relationships because you are engaging with others from a place of authenticity and self-respect. Instead of projecting your insecurities or expectations onto others, you approach relationships with a genuine understanding of yourself and what you bring to the table. You can love and support others without losing sight of your own needs, creating a more balanced and harmonious dynamic. By practicing self-knowledge, you also cultivate empathy, as understanding your own struggles and motivations can help you better understand those of others. But how do we cultivate self-knowledge in a world filled with distractions and constant demands on our attention? Start by dedicating time each day for self-reflection. Journaling is a powerful tool for this. Writing down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences can help you uncover patterns and gain insights into your inner world. Meditation and mindfulness practices are also invaluable in helping you tune into your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Ask yourself meaningful questions. What do I truly want in life? What am I afraid of? What brings me joy? What values do I hold most dear? Keep digging deeper. Often, the first answer is just the surface level. True self-knowledge comes from exploring beyond the initial response. Furthermore, be open to feedback from others. Sometimes those close to us can provide valuable insights into our behaviors and tendencies that we might not see ourselves. However, remember to filter this feedback through your own understanding of yourself. Not all opinions are truths. Discern what resonates with your inner knowledge and what does not. Engaging with a mentor or a coach who can guide you through self-discovery and hold you accountable for your growth can also be beneficial. Embrace experiences, even the challenging ones, as opportunities for self-learning. Every situation in life teaches us something about ourselves if we are willing to pay attention. The importance of self-knowledge cannot be overstated. It is the foundation upon which a fulfilling and purposeful life is built. When you know yourself, you are better equipped to navigate the complexities of life, to make decisions that align with your true self, and to build meaningful relationships. It empowers you to live authentically and to pursue your goals with clarity and confidence. So take the time to look inward. Ask yourself the hard questions. Reflect, learn, and grow. As you deepen your self-knowledge, you will find a source of strength and wisdom that will guide you through life's journey. After all, as the saying goes, to know thyself is the beginning of wisdom. So, how well do you know yourself? Are you ready to embark on the journey of self-discovery and unlock your true potential? Remember, the path to a better life begins with understanding the person who walks it. You. Thank you for being a part of today's video. Before we proceed, I want to acknowledge your valuable presence in our community. Feel free to share your insights or simply leave a comment saying I am a newbie if you're new here, or I am Stoic if you've been part of our journey for some time. Your interaction is incredibly encouraging and keeps us motivated to bring you more content. Let's continue exploring and learning together, shall we? Lesson 5. Embrace discomfort for growth. Discomfort is the currency of success, as Tim Ferriss, a modern-day entrepreneur and philosopher, once put it. But how often do we actively seek out discomfort? In our daily lives, most of us instinctively avoid it, preferring comfort and familiarity. We choose the easy path, stick to what we know, and shy away from situations that make us feel vulnerable or uncertain. Yet, if we truly want to grow, We must challenge ourselves to step outside of our comfort zones and embrace discomfort as a necessary part of the journey. The Stoics understood this well. They believed that embracing discomfort is not only essential for personal growth, but also for building resilience and strength. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminded us, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the very things we avoid, the challenges, the obstacles, the uncomfortable situations, are precisely the things that can propel us forward. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you intentionally put yourself in a situation that made you uncomfortable? When did you last choose to push your limits, knowing that it would make you stronger? Think about this. Discomfort is a sign of growth. Just as muscles grow stronger when they are challenged through exercise, our minds and characters develop when we face and overcome adversity. Consider the story of someone who decides to run a marathon. At first, the idea seems daunting, 26.2 miles of relentless physical and mental challenge, but they start training, pushing themselves a little more each day. The early mornings, the muscle aches, the fatigue, all these discomforts are part of the process. Yet with each run, they grow stronger, both physically and mentally. By the time race day arrives, they're ready, not because the discomfort went away, but because they learned to embrace it, to see it as a stepping stone to a greater achievement. And isn't life much the same? How often do we avoid the discomfort of a difficult conversation, the uncertainty of a new job, or the vulnerability of expressing our true feelings? What opportunities might we miss when we choose the safe and familiar instead of the challenging and new? Embracing discomfort also cultivates resilience, the ability to recover quickly from difficulties. In modern life, this skill is invaluable. Whether it's dealing with a setback at work, navigating a tough relationship, or facing unexpected life changes, resilience allows us to adapt and thrive in the face of adversity. A famous quote by Winston Churchill comes to mind. "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Resilience isn't about never failing. It's about learning to rise each time we fall. And each fall is a chance to learn, to adapt, and to grow stronger. How many times have you been in a situation where you felt like giving up but pushed through anyway? What did you learn about yourself in those moments? Chances are, those experiences shaped you in profound ways, teaching you lessons you couldn't have learned any other way. In our quest for comfort, we often forget that discomfort is where the magic happens. It's where we learn, adapt, and transform. It's where we find out what we're really made of. Consider the caterpillar, which must undergo the discomfort of transformation within the cocoon to emerge as a butterfly. Without that struggle, without that period of intense discomfort, it could never reach its full potential. So too, must we endure periods of discomfort to grow into the best versions of ourselves. Have you ever wondered what potential lies dormant within you, waiting to be unleashed by a little discomfort? What if the discomfort you're avoiding is the key to unlocking a new chapter in your life? Moreover, embracing discomfort teaches us humility. When we step outside our comfort zones, we often encounter failure, mistakes, and setbacks. And that's okay. These experiences remind us that we are human, that we have room to grow, and that there is always more to learn. They keep us grounded and open to new experiences, preventing us from becoming complacent or overconfident. By accepting discomfort, we learn to be comfortable with being a beginner, to be okay with not having all the answers, and to see every challenge as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat to our self-esteem. This mindset is critical in a world that is constantly changing and evolving. As Albert Einstein wisely said, "Once you stop learning, you start dying." In today's fast-paced world, embracing discomfort is more relevant than ever. With rapid technological advancements, changing job markets, and evolving social dynamics, staying in our comfort zones is no longer an option if we want to thrive. We must be willing to adapt, to learn new skills, and to face new challenges head-on. Whether it's learning a new language in today's fast-paced world, embracing discomfort is more relevant than ever. With rapid technological advancements, changing job markets, and evolving social dynamics, staying in our comfort zones is no longer an option if we want to thrive. We must be willing to adapt, to learn new skills, and to face new challenges head-on. Whether it's learning a new language, starting a new career, or simply speaking up in a meeting, each time we embrace discomfort, we grow a little bit more. So, what are you waiting for? What's one thing you've been avoiding because it feels too uncomfortable? Could taking that step bring you closer to your goals? Could it make you stronger, wiser, more resilient? Embracing discomfort is about choosing growth over stagnation. It's about recognizing that every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. It's about understanding that the road to self-improvement is often paved with discomfort, but that the rewards of traveling this road far outweigh the temporary unease. So, the next time you feel the urge to stay within your comfort zone, ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What could I gain from stepping into the unknown? Remember, the discomfort you feel today is the strength you gain tomorrow. As the Stoics teach us, the obstacle is the way. The discomfort, the challenge, the struggle, these are not barriers to your progress, but the very path to it. Embrace it, lean into it, and watch as it transforms you into the person you were always meant to be. Are you ready to embrace discomfort for growth? To step into the arena, face your fears, and emerge stronger on the other side? The choice is yours, and the journey begins now. Lesson 6. The power of patience. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. This famous quote by Jean-Jacques Rousseau captures the essence of one of the most profound virtues we can cultivate: patience. But in today's fast-paced world, where everything is designed to be instant messages, instant coffee, instant gratification, how often do we stop to consider the value of patience? It might seem like an old-fashioned virtue, something that doesn't quite fit into our modern lives. However, patience remains one of the most powerful tools we have for personal growth, success, and happiness. Imagine, for a moment, planting a seed. You water it, make sure it gets plenty of sunlight, and wait. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust the process, knowing that growth takes time. So, why is it that when it comes to our own lives, we often lack that same trust and patience? Why do we expect immediate results, immediate success, immediate change? Think about how many times you've been frustrated because things didn't happen as quickly as you wanted them to. Whether it's waiting for a promotion, seeing progress in your fitness journey, or even finding the right partner. We've all been there, feeling like our efforts aren't bearing fruit fast enough. But what if patience isn't just about waiting, but about how you wait? What if patience is about developing trust in the journey itself, believing that with consistent effort, the results will come? The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Time heals what reason cannot." This is a reminder that some things in life simply take time, and that patience is not about passivity. It's about actively enduring, trusting, and remaining steadfast in our efforts, even when the immediate outcomes are not visible. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before finally inventing the electric light bulb. He didn't view his failures as setbacks, but rather as steps on the path to success. When asked about his repeated failures, Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This perspective is the essence of patience, the understanding that progress often comes slowly, and that the journey itself is filled with learning and growth. How often do we give up just before the breakthrough, simply because we lack the patience to see things through? Patience also plays a crucial role in our relationships. Think about the last argument you had with someone close to you. Did impatience cause you to speak harshly or act rashly? Patience in communication allows us to listen more deeply, respond more thoughtfully, and act with greater compassion. It gives us the space to see things from another person's perspective, to understand rather than react, to connect rather than divide. The Greek philosopher Aristotle noted, "Patience is bitter, but it bears a sweet fruit." This is particularly true in our interactions with others. By cultivating patience, we build stronger, more meaningful relationships based on understanding and mutual respect. Moreover, patience is a key ingredient in achieving long-term goals. In a world obsessed with quick wins and overnight success, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that real, lasting success often takes time. Whether you're building a business, learning a new skill, or striving for personal improvement, the process is usually slow and filled with obstacles. But as the saying goes, good things come to those who wait. It's not just about the waiting itself, but about maintaining effort, enthusiasm, and belief during the wait. Have you ever set a goal for yourself and abandoned it because it seemed too far away, too difficult to achieve? What if you had held on just a little longer, pushed a little harder, waited with a little more faith? In our daily lives, practicing patience can transform how we experience challenges. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, we can view them as opportunities to learn and grow. Patience teaches us to endure hardships with grace and to remain calm in the face of adversity. It helps us develop resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks stronger than before. Think about the great leaders and visionaries of history: Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., all of whom showed extraordinary patience in the pursuit of their causes. They understood that significant change does not happen overnight, and that lasting impact requires time, persistence, and a willingness to endure. But patience isn't just about the big things in life. It's also about the small, everyday moments. It's about having the patience to stand in line without frustration, to wait for a meal to cook without reaching for a snack, to read a book without checking your phone every few minutes. These small acts of patience are like training for the bigger tests of patience life will inevitably throw our way. As Lao Tzu said, "Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear?" This ancient wisdom invites us to see patience as a way of finding clarity and peace in the chaos of life. However, embracing patience doesn't mean sitting idly by or being complacent. It means recognizing when to act and when to wait, understanding the natural rhythms of life, and trusting that some things unfold in their own time. It's about finding a balance between persistence and surrender, effort and acceptance. So, how can you start cultivating patience in your life today? Start by being mindful of the moments when you feel impatient. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that good things take time, and focus on the bigger picture. Reflect on the areas of your life where patience could help you grow, whether it's in your career, your personal relationships, or your personal development. Remember, patience is a practice, one that requires daily commitment and effort. But the rewards are worth it. Deeper relationships, greater personal growth, and a more profound sense of peace and satisfaction in life. So, next time you're tempted to rush through something or give up too soon, ask yourself, what am I missing by not being patient? What could I gain by giving this a little more time, a little more space to grow? Embrace patience, and you might just find that the journey, with all its ups and downs, is just as valuable, if not more so, than the destination itself. As you continue on your journey of self-improvement and personal growth, remember the power of patience. It's not just about waiting. It's about trusting, enduring, and growing. Are you ready to harness the power of patience and see where it can lead you? The choice, as always, is yours. Lesson 7. The value of simplicity. Simple is not always easy, but it is always more powerful. This idea, echoed through the ages by wise philosophers and leaders alike, captures the essence of simplicity and why it holds such immense value in our lives. In a world constantly pushing us to accumulate more possessions, more achievements, more experiences, it can feel counterintuitive to embrace simplicity. Yet, simplicity is not about deprivation. It's about clarity, focus, and living in alignment with what truly matters. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. So, what does it mean to lead a simple life, and why should we consider stripping away the excess to find peace and purpose? Consider this. Our lives are filled with countless distractions, from the latest gadgets and fashion trends to the relentless bombardment of information through social media and news channels. Each of these elements demands our attention, pulling us in different directions and often away from the things that genuinely matter. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the sheer volume of choices and information available to you? Do you ever find yourself exhausted, not by the physical demands of your day, but by the mental clutter that fills your mind? This is where the value of simplicity comes into play. By decluttering our lives, both physically and mentally, we create space for what truly enriches us. We shift our focus from acquiring more to appreciating what we already have. This shift doesn't just simplify our surroundings. It simplifies our mindset, allowing us to concentrate on our true priorities. Think about the story of Diogenes, the Greek philosopher who famously lived in a barrel and owned almost nothing. When Alexander the Great visited him and offered to grant any wish, Diogenes simply replied, "Stand out of my light." This was not just a rejection of material wealth, but a profound statement on the importance of simplicity. Diogenes understood that true wealth came not from material possessions, but from inner freedom and clarity of thought. How much more could we accomplish if we removed the unnecessary from our lives and focused on what genuinely adds value? It's a question worth pondering, especially in a modern context where we are constantly told that more is better. But what if the opposite were true? What if having less allowed us to live more fully? Simplicity also fosters contentment and reduces stress. When we are no longer fixated on the next purchase or the next big thing, we find joy in the present moment and the simple pleasures of life. We begin to appreciate a quiet walk in nature, a deep conversation with a friend, or the satisfaction of a job well done. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." By embracing simplicity, we are not just clearing out our closets or decluttering our schedules. We are also decluttering our minds and finding peace within ourselves. This clarity allows us to focus on our goals without the noise of unnecessary distractions. In our modern lives, simplicity can be a game changer. Consider the trend of minimalism, which has gained popularity as more people seek to declutter their lives and find meaning beyond material possessions. This movement isn't just about owning fewer things, but about making conscious choices that align with our values. It's about asking ourselves, do I need this? Does this bring me joy or serve a purpose in my life? Imagine the mental freedom that comes from letting go of things that do not serve us, the weight lifted from not chasing the latest trends, and the peace found in knowing that what we have is enough. How would your life change if you focused less on accumulation and more on appreciation? But simplicity is not just about physical possessions. It's also about simplifying our thoughts and routines. In an age where we are constantly multitasking and bombarded with information, our minds become cluttered. Simplifying our mental habits, practicing mindfulness, setting clear priorities, and focusing on one task at a time can drastically improve our mental clarity and emotional well-being. The ability to simplify means to eliminate the unnecessary so that the necessary may speak, said the artist Hans Hofmann. This statement holds true not just in art, but in life. By eliminating the noise, we can hear the callings of our true desires and aspirations. Think of a modern-day example. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was known for his minimalist approach to life. He famously wore the same style of clothing every day to avoid decision fatigue, allowing him to focus his mental energy on more critical decisions. This simplicity in his personal life mirrored the philosophy behind Apple's product designs: clean, uncomplicated, and focused on what truly mattered. What lessons can we take from this? Perhaps that simplicity in our daily lives can free up the mental space needed to innovate, to create, and to live more purposefully. Moreover, simplicity allows us to build deeper connections with others. When we are not distracted by material pursuits or overwhelmed by a hectic schedule, we can give our full attention to the people around us. We can listen more intently, engage more deeply, and build more meaningful relationships. This is particularly important for men between the ages of 30 and 65, who are often balancing career pressures, family responsibilities, and social obligations. By simplifying our lives, we can focus on the relationships that matter most, rather than spreading ourselves too thin. The value of simplicity lies in its ability to help us focus on what is truly important. It allows us to strip away the excess and concentrate on the things that bring genuine joy and fulfillment. It helps us cultivate a mindset of gratitude, where we appreciate what we have rather than constantly seeking more. So, how can you start embracing simplicity in your own life today? Perhaps it's as simple as decluttering a space in your home, simplifying your schedule to make time for what matters, or choosing to focus on one task at a time. Remember, simplicity is not about doing less, it's about doing more of what counts. As you consider the lessons of Stoicism and the value of simplicity, ask yourself, what unnecessary complexities am I holding on to? How can simplifying my life help me focus on what truly matters? Embrace simplicity, and you might just find that less is indeed more peace, more clarity, and more joy in everyday living. Are you ready to discover the power of a simpler life? The choice is yours, and the journey starts now. Lesson 8. The Power of Perspective. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. These words by Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic philosopher, invite us to reconsider how we perceive the world around us. Have you ever thought about how much your perspective shapes your reality? How two people can experience the exact same event, but come away with completely different interpretations? This is because our experiences, beliefs, and emotions color our perceptions, turning them into unique filters through which we view the world. The power of perspective lies in its ability to transform our experiences. It can turn a challenge into an opportunity, a failure into a lesson, and a setback into a stepping stone. But how often do we consciously choose our perspective? More often than not, we let our emotions dictate our views, seeing things through the lens of fear, anger, or frustration. But what if we could shift our perspective and choose to see things differently? What if, instead of seeing obstacles, we saw chances for growth? Consider the story of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor who endured unimaginable horrors in a concentration camp. Frankl could have easily succumbed to despair, yet he chose to see his suffering through a different lens. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Frankl realized that while he couldn't control his external circumstances, he could control how he responded to them. He found meaning in his suffering by focusing on the hope that he could endure, learn, and even grow from his experience. His story is a powerful reminder of how a shift in perspective can change not only how we experience our circumstances, but also how we emerge from them. Have you ever faced a situation that seemed impossible to overcome, only to find that by changing the way you looked at it, everything seemed different? This is the power of perspective in action. In our daily lives, perspective can play a crucial role in how we deal with challenges and setbacks. Let's take a common example. You're stuck in traffic, running late for an important meeting. Your initial reaction might be frustration, anger, even panic. But what if instead you took a deep breath and used this time to listen to an inspiring podcast, reflect on your day, or even practice mindfulness? By shifting your perspective, you turn a negative situation into a positive one. The external circumstance, being stuck in traffic, remains the same, but your internal experience changes dramatically. This shift doesn't just make the moment more bearable. It transforms it into something valuable, a moment of peace, learning, or self-reflection. Now think about your career. Have you ever faced a setback that felt like the end of the world? Maybe you were passed over for a promotion, or your project didn't receive the recognition you thought it deserved. It's easy to get caught up in negative emotions, seeing the situation as a personal failure. But what if you viewed it from a different perspective? Perhaps it's an opportunity to learn, to develop new skills, or even to explore a different path that could lead to greater fulfillment. As the Stoics teach, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This quote reminds us that the very obstacles we face can propel us forward if we choose to see them as opportunities for growth rather than as insurmountable barriers. In relationships, too, perspective can be a game changer. How often have you had a disagreement with a loved one, only to realize later that the issue was more about your own perception than the actual event? By stepping back and trying to see the situation from the other person's point of view, we can often resolve conflicts more easily and build stronger, more empathetic relationships. This shift in perspective requires humility and the willingness to acknowledge that our view is not the only one, but the rewards are worth it. We create space for understanding, forgiveness, and deeper connections. How different would our relationships be if we could regularly practice seeing things from another's perspective? The power of perspective is also evident in our pursuit of happiness. Too often we look for happiness in external achievements, getting the next promotion, buying a new car, or reaching a certain financial status. But what if we shifted our perspective to focus on the things we already have? Gratitude is a simple yet powerful shift in perspective that can instantly improve our outlook on life. By focusing on what we are thankful for, we move from a mindset of lack to one of abundance. As the philosopher Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This doesn't mean we shouldn't have goals or aspirations, but rather that we should appreciate the journey and the blessings we already possess. In modern life, where we are constantly bombarded by images of what we should aspire to, perfect careers, perfect bodies, perfect lives, maintaining a balanced perspective is more challenging yet more crucial than ever. Social media, in particular, can distort our perspectives, making us feel inadequate or left behind. But remember, most of what we see online is curated, a highlight reel rather than a true reflection of life. By keeping this in mind and cultivating a more grounded perspective, we can protect ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Instead of comparing ourselves to others, we can focus on our own path, our own growth, and our own unique journey. So how can you begin to harness the power of perspective in your own life? Start by becoming aware of your current perspectives. When you face a challenge, ask yourself, is there another way to look at this situation? How would someone I admire perceive this? What can I learn from this experience? Practice shifting your perspective regularly, especially in situations that trigger strong emotions. Over time, you'll find that this practice becomes more natural, and you'll gain greater control over your reactions and experiences. Remember, as Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Wealth in this sense is not about accumulating possessions, but about cultivating a rich and balanced perspective on life. At the end of the day, the power of perspective is a choice. It's about deciding how you want to see the world and your place in it. Do you choose to see challenges as threats or as opportunities for growth? Do you focus on what you lack, or do you celebrate what you have? By consciously choosing your perspective, you empower yourself to live a more fulfilling, resilient, and meaningful life. So as you move forward, ask yourself, how can I change my perspective today to improve my life tomorrow? How can I see the world in a way that enriches my experience rather than diminishes it? Remember, the power of perspective is always within your control. Are you ready to harness it to create a better, more fulfilling life? The choice is yours, and it starts with how you choose to see the world today. If you've made it this far, you're on the path to becoming a master of Stoic wisdom. Drop a comment saying, I embrace Stoicism to show you're committed to improving your life forever with these powerful lessons. Stay tuned, because the journey to a better you has just begun. Lesson 9. The importance of routine. Routine in an intelligent man is a sign of ambition. This quote from W.H. Auden perfectly captures the essence of why establishing a routine is so vital in our lives. But have you ever wondered why some people seem to thrive on routines while others resist them, feeling trapped by the predictability? In reality, a well-crafted routine does more than just structure our days. It creates a foundation for success, growth, and inner peace. Think about it. Every great athlete, entrepreneur, and thinker often attributes their success to a set of disciplined habits or routines that they follow religiously. And it's not because they lack creativity or spontaneity. Quite the opposite. It's because they understand that routine is not about limitation, but liberation. When we build solid routines, we free up mental energy, reduce decision fatigue, and create a stable base from which we can tackle life's challenges more effectively. Have you ever noticed how much easier it is to get through the day when you know what to expect, when there's a rhythm to your actions, a flow to your efforts? Let's consider the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius who, despite being an emperor with enormous responsibilities, maintained a daily routine that included time for meditation, reflection, and writing in his journal. He understood that a routine was essential not only for managing his empire, but also for managing himself. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, he wrote, highlighting how our daily practices shape our mindset and character. A routine helps us to cultivate habits that lead to a more disciplined, focused, and productive life. It allows us to control our day rather than let the day control us. How many of us feel that life is pulling us in every direction, leaving us exhausted and unfocused by the end of the day? A strong routine can be the anchor that holds us steady amidst the chaos. Moreover, routines are not just about productivity. They are also about self-care and personal growth. They allow us to prioritize what's important, whether it's setting aside time for exercise, reading, learning, or spending time with loved ones. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to neglect the things that truly matter, because we're caught up in the urgent over the important. But a well-designed routine helps us ensure that the things that matter most don't get lost in the shuffle. Think of it like tending a garden. Without consistent care and attention, the weeds of distraction and stress quickly take over. But with a routine, you're constantly watering the plants of your life, ensuring that they grow strong and healthy. Have you ever reflected on how much more fulfilling your life could be if you dedicated regular time to the things that nourish your body, mind, and soul? Routines also build resilience. When we face challenging times, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and unsure of what to do next. A routine provides a sense of normalcy and control, even when everything else feels uncertain. During difficult periods, sticking to simple routines, like going for a morning run, practicing mindfulness, or even maintaining a bedtime ritual, can help ground us and provide a sense of stability. It's like a ship navigating through a storm. Routines are the steady compass that helps us find our way. This is particularly important in our modern world, where unexpected changes can happen at any moment, from personal crises to global events. How would your ability to cope with challenges improve if you had a strong routine to rely on? However, it's important to note that routines don't have to be rigid or monotonous. They should be flexible and adaptable to our evolving needs and circumstances. As the saying goes, the only constant in life is change. Thus, our routines should be dynamic, designed to grow with us as we move through different stages of life. What's important is not sticking to a routine for routine's sake, but understanding the underlying purpose behind it. Are your routines helping you become a better version of yourself? Or are they simply habits you've fallen into? Regularly reassessing your routines can ensure they remain effective and aligned with your current goals and values. Consider the example of someone like Steve Jobs, who famously maintained a minimalist wardrobe to reduce decision fatigue. By wearing the same type of outfit every day, he freed up mental energy to focus on more critical decisions, contributing to his innovative thinking and success. His routine wasn't about lack of creativity, but about conserving cognitive resources for what mattered most. This approach can be applied in various aspects of our lives. Simplifying certain decisions, like what to eat for breakfast, when to exercise, or what time to wake up, can create more space for creativity, problem-solving, and deeper thinking. So, what aspects of your life could benefit from a more simplified routine approach? Furthermore, routines can foster a sense of accomplishment and build momentum toward larger goals. Each small task completed within a routine, whether it's making your bed, reading for 15 minutes, or meditating, provides a sense of achievement. These small wins add up over time, creating a snowball effect that propels us toward more significant achievements. It's like the concept of compound interest in finance. Small, consistent actions taken daily can lead to substantial growth over time. Reflect on the idea of Kaizen, the Japanese philosophy of continuous improvement, which emphasizes that small daily improvements lead to significant long-term change. What small habits could you incorporate into your routine today that, over time, would lead to a better, more fulfilled you? Ultimately, the importance of routine lies in its ability to create a stable foundation from which we can build a meaningful life. It's not about eliminating spontaneity or becoming robotic, but about finding a balance that allows us to thrive. By consciously designing our routines, we take control of our time and energy, ensuring that they are spent on what truly matters. So, as you consider your own life, ask yourself, what routines do I have in place, and are they serving me well? How can I refine my routines to better align with my goals and values? Remember, routines are not a prison but a pathway to freedom, allowing us to live with greater intention, focus, and fulfillment. Are you ready to harness the power of routine to improve your life forever? The choice is yours, and it starts with the actions you take today. Lesson 10. The Art of Forgiveness. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. This profound quote by Lewis B. Smedes captures the essence of forgiveness and its transformative power in our lives. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness or surrender, but in reality, it is one of the greatest acts of strength and courage a person can demonstrate. When we hold on to grudges, harbor resentment, or cling to past wrongs, we are the ones who suffer the most. We imprison ourselves in a cycle of anger, bitterness, and pain that prevents us from experiencing true peace and happiness. But have you ever wondered what life could be like if you chose to let go of those burdens? What if forgiveness was not just about the other person, but was actually about freeing yourself? Let's consider the story of Nelson Mandela, who, after spending 27 years in prison, under a regime that sought to dehumanize and break him, chose the path of forgiveness. Upon his release, he did not seek revenge or retribution, but rather sought reconciliation and healing for his nation. Mandela understood that forgiveness was not about condoning the past or forgetting the pain, but about releasing its hold over him and his people. He famously said, "Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies." This quote serves as a powerful reminder that when we refuse to forgive, we are the ones who continue to suffer. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about reclaiming our peace of mind and emotional freedom. Have you ever felt the weight of holding on to a grudge? How much lighter could you feel if you chose to let it go? Forgiveness also involves recognizing our shared humanity and understanding that everyone makes mistakes. We all have moments where we act out of anger, fear, or ignorance, and we all hope for forgiveness when we do. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, wrote, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" This introspective approach helps us cultivate empathy and compassion, both for ourselves and others. It encourages us to see beyond the immediate hurt and recognize the deeper struggles and insecurities that may have led someone to act the way they did. How would our relationships change if we approached them with this mindset of understanding rather than judgment? In modern life, the need for forgiveness is more significant than ever. With the fast-paced nature of our world and the constant bombardment of information, misunderstandings and conflicts are bound to happen. Whether it's a disagreement with a colleague, a rift with a friend, or a betrayal by a loved one, the wounds we carry can accumulate and weigh us down. But holding on to these hurts only creates more tension and stress. It prevents us from moving forward and fully enjoying the present moment. Think about a time when you held on to a grudge. How much energy did it drain from you? How much joy did it steal from your daily life? Forgiveness is about choosing to release that burden, to reclaim your emotional energy, and redirect it toward positive, life-affirming pursuits. Moreover, forgiveness is a gift to ourselves. It's a way of practicing self-care and self-compassion. By forgiving, we allow ourselves to heal, to move beyond the pain and into a space of growth and learning. The famous saying by Buddha, "Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned," illustrates this concept perfectly. Anger and resentment are destructive emotions that harm us more than anyone else. By letting go of these negative emotions, we make room for love, joy, and inner peace. What would your life look like if you chose to release all the anger and bitterness you've been holding on to? Forgiveness also fosters resilience. When we learn to forgive, we build the strength to overcome adversity and bounce back from challenges. It teaches us to see every setback as an opportunity for growth rather than a permanent defeat. In this way, forgiveness is a powerful tool for personal development. It allows us to transform pain into wisdom, to learn from our experiences, and to emerge stronger and more compassionate. Think of it as emotional alchemy, turning the lead of past hurts into the gold of self-awareness and personal growth. How much more resilient could you become if you embraced forgiveness as a daily practice? However, it's important to note that forgiveness does not mean condoning harmful behavior or forgetting the lessons learned. It doesn't mean allowing others to repeatedly hurt us or ignoring the boundaries we need to set for our own well-being. Forgiveness is about letting go of the emotional charge that keeps us tied to the past. It's about acknowledging the pain, learning from it, and then choosing to move forward with grace and wisdom. It's about understanding that holding on to anger does not change the past, but can significantly affect our present and future. Are there any past hurts you are holding on to that are affecting your current life and relationships? One practical approach to cultivating forgiveness is through mindfulness and self-reflection. Start by acknowledging the hurt and the impact it has had on you. Allow yourself to feel the pain without judgment. Then, consider the broader context. What might have caused the other person to act the way they did? What unmet needs or insecurities were at play? By broadening our perspective, we can begin to soften our hearts and open the door to forgiveness. Reflect on this quote from Mahatma Gandhi: "The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong." This reminds us that forgiveness is a courageous act, a demonstration of inner strength and resilience. As we conclude this lesson on the art of forgiveness, it's essential to recognize that forgiveness is a process, not a one-time event. It requires patience, compassion, and a willingness to let go of the ego. But the rewards of forgiveness are profound: peace of mind, emotional freedom, and healthier, more meaningful relationships. So, ask yourself, who in your life do you need to forgive? What past hurts are you still carrying, and how are they affecting your happiness today? Remember, by choosing to forgive, you are choosing to live a life unburdened by the weight of resentment and anger. You are choosing to reclaim your peace and joy. Are you ready to take that step toward freedom and healing? The choice is yours, and it begins with a single act of forgiveness. Lesson 11. The power of self-discipline. Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. If you don't control what you think, you can't control what you do. This insight by Napoleon Hill perfectly captures the essence of self-discipline, a fundamental quality that can transform every aspect of your life. But have you ever thought about what self-discipline really means? It's not about denying yourself pleasures or living a life of strict rules and deprivation. Instead, it's about developing the inner strength to focus on what truly matters and to follow through with your commitments, even when it's hard. Think about it. Every successful person, from athletes to business leaders, has one trait in common: the power of self-discipline. But how often do we stop to consider its importance in our own lives? How many times have we set goals, only to abandon them at the first sign of difficulty or distraction? What would your life look like if you had the self-discipline to consistently pursue your goals and dreams without getting sidetracked? Consider the story of Jocko Willink, a retired Navy SEAL officer turned author and podcaster. He wakes up at 4:30 every morning, without fail, to exercise and prepare for the day ahead. For Jocko, self-discipline is freedom. He believes that by mastering our impulses and sticking to a disciplined routine, we gain freedom from laziness, from fear, and from a lack of direction. As he often says, discipline equals freedom. This might seem paradoxical at first. How can discipline, which feels like a constraint, actually lead to freedom? But when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. When you discipline yourself to follow a healthy diet, you gain the freedom of good health. When you discipline yourself to manage your time well, you gain the freedom to accomplish more and enjoy your leisure without guilt. How different would your life be if you could embrace this mindset of self-discipline, seeing it not as a burden, but as a tool for greater freedom and success? Self-discipline also teaches us to delay gratification. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with instant gratification, from fast food to social media likes, it's easy to lose sight of the benefits of patience and perseverance. But the Stoics, like Epictetus, taught us that no great thing is created suddenly. This wisdom reminds us that the most rewarding achievements in life, whether it's building a successful career, maintaining a strong relationship, or achieving personal growth, require consistent effort over time. They cannot be rushed. Think of self-discipline as a muscle that strengthens with use. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes, and the easier it is to resist temptations and distractions that pull you away from your long-term goals. Have you ever set a goal and stuck with it, even when it was difficult? How did that make you feel when you finally achieved it? That sense of accomplishment is the direct result of self-discipline. Let's bring this idea into a modern context. Consider the story of someone trying to get fit. At first, the idea is exciting. They buy new workout clothes, sign up for a gym membership, and set ambitious fitness goals. But soon, the initial excitement wears off, and reality sets in. Early morning workouts, muscle soreness, the temptation of skipping a session for a cozy lie-in. This is where self-discipline comes into play. It's easy to go to the gym when you're motivated, but true progress happens when you show up on the days you don't feel like it. Self-discipline is what pushes you out of bed at 5 a.m., what keeps you on the treadmill when you'd rather be watching TV, and what encourages you to choose a healthy meal over fast food. Over time, this discipline pays off, and the individual starts seeing results: better health, increased energy, and a boost in confidence. But it all starts with that choice to be disciplined, day in and day out. What areas of your life could benefit from this kind of commitment and discipline? Self-discipline is also crucial in managing our emotions and reactions. How often have you said or done something in the heat of the moment, only to regret it later? By practicing self-discipline, we learn to pause, to think before we act, and to respond rather than react. This is particularly important in our relationships, both personal and professional. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, said, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." This reflects the idea that true power comes from self-control. When we master our impulses and emotions, we navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and clarity. Think about a recent conflict or challenge. How might things have turned out differently if you had approached it with a disciplined mind, calmly assessing the situation before acting? In our fast-paced modern world, self-discipline might seem like an outdated concept, but it is more relevant than ever. With endless distractions at our fingertips, the ability to stay focused and disciplined is a superpower. Whether it's committing to learning a new skill, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, or simply managing your time more effectively, self-discipline is the key that unlocks the door to success and fulfillment. It's not about perfection, but about persistence. It's not about never faltering, but about getting back up each time you do. As Aristotle famously said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This reminds us that the small, disciplined actions we take every day add up to create a life of excellence. So, how can you start cultivating self-discipline in your own life today? Start small. Pick one area of your life where you want to improve, whether it's waking up earlier, eating healthier, or focusing more at work. Set clear, achievable goals and commit to them daily. Remember, self-discipline is not about making one big, grand gesture. It's about making consistent, deliberate choices every day. Reflect on the words of Marcus Aurelius, who said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is a powerful reminder that we are in control of our thoughts, our actions, and ultimately our lives. What step can you take today to start strengthening your self-discipline? What could you achieve if you made self-discipline a daily practice? It's essential to remember that this quality is not innate. It's learned and developed through consistent practice. It's about building the mental and emotional strength to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's about choosing long-term benefits over short-term pleasures. And most importantly, it's about taking control of your life and directing it toward your highest goals. So, I challenge you to reflect on your life and ask yourself, where can I be more disciplined? What goals am I not reaching because I'm allowing distractions and excuses to get in the way? Remember, the journey to a better life starts with a single step. Are you ready to take it? The power of self-discipline is within you. Unleash it and watch your life transform. Thank you for being here and joining us in today's video. Should know to improve your life forever through Stoicism. Which lesson resonated most with you, and how do you plan to apply it in your daily life? We'd love to hear about your experiences or any insights you have on incorporating Stoic principles. If you're not sure what to comment, simply share, "I'm ready to embrace Stoicism." Your thoughts and participation are always appreciated and help us grow together as a community. Lesson 12. The Gift of Giving. Remember that the happiest people are not those getting more, but those giving more. These words by H. Jackson Brown Jr. resonate deeply because they remind us of a fundamental truth that is often overlooked in our pursuit of happiness and fulfillment. The concept of giving, whether it's our time, resources, or love, has the profound ability to transform our lives in ways that go far beyond the material. But have you ever wondered why giving feels so good? Why can a simple act of kindness uplift our spirits and fill our hearts with joy? It's because giving connects us to something greater than ourselves. It taps into a shared humanity, fostering a sense of belonging, purpose, and gratitude. But how often do we consciously choose to give in our everyday lives? And how different would our world be if we made regular practice? Think about the last time you did something kind for someone else without expecting anything in return. Maybe it was helping a stranger with directions, buying coffee for a colleague, or simply listening to a friend who needed to talk. How did that make you feel? Most likely, it filled you with a sense of warmth and satisfaction. This feeling isn't just a coincidence. Science supports it. Research shows that acts of giving release endorphins in our brain, creating a helper's high, a phenomenon that not only makes us feel good, but also contributes to our overall well-being. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By choosing to focus on others and engage in acts of kindness, we naturally cultivate more positive thoughts and therefore, a happier, more fulfilled life. Have you ever considered that giving could be the key to unlocking your own happiness? Moreover, giving helps us break free from the cycle of materialism that often dominates our lives. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with messages to buy more, have more, and be more, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that our worth is tied to what we own. But true wealth, as the Stoics believed, comes not from what we have, but from what we give. Epictetus, another Stoic sage, taught that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. By giving, we shift our focus from accumulating to contributing, from taking to sharing. This shift in mindset not only lightens our emotional load, but also enhances our sense of community and connection with others. Imagine a world where people prioritized giving over receiving, where generosity was the norm rather than the exception. How much richer in spirit and connection would we all be? Consider the story of Bill Gates, one of the richest men in the world, who, along with his wife Melinda, decided to give away a significant portion of their wealth through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Gates has often spoken about how the act of giving has brought him more fulfillment than any amount of money ever could. Through their philanthropic work, they've funded projects that fight poverty, improve global health, and expand access to education. This decision wasn't driven by the need for recognition, but by a deep understanding that real wealth is measured not by what we keep, but by what we give. How many of us could find similar fulfillment by making giving a more integral part of our lives? What causes are close to your heart that you could support, not necessarily with money, but with time, effort, or skills? In our daily lives, giving can take many forms. It doesn't always have to be about money. It can be as simple as giving your time to a friend in need, sharing your knowledge with someone who could benefit, or offering a genuine compliment to brighten someone's day. These small acts of kindness may seem insignificant, but they can have a profound impact. As the Dalai Lama said, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. This idea reflects a fundamental truth. Giving is a two-way street. While it benefits others, it equally enriches us, fostering empathy, understanding, and connection. How different would your day look if you made a conscious effort to give a little more of yourself to others? Furthermore, giving nurtures a sense of gratitude. When we give, we are reminded of our own blessings, which in turn fosters a deeper appreciation for what we have. Gratitude and giving go hand in hand, each reinforcing the other in a beautiful cycle. When we focus on giving, we are less likely to dwell on what we lack and more likely to be grateful for what we have. This shift in focus from scarcity to abundance can significantly improve our mental and emotional well-being. It can make us more resilient, more optimistic, and more connected to those around us. What would happen if you started every day by asking yourself, how can I give back today? How might this practice change not only your day, but your entire outlook on life? But let's be honest, giving isn't always easy. It requires us to step outside of our comfort zones, to open our hearts, and sometimes to make sacrifices. Yet, it is precisely this challenge that makes giving so powerful. It stretches us, encourages us to grow, and often, in the process, reveals the best version of ourselves. Just like physical exercise strengthens our bodies, the practice of giving strengthens our spirits. And as with any exercise, the more we do it, the easier it becomes and the more natural it feels. As Seneca wisely noted, no man was ever wise by chance. Wisdom, like generosity, is cultivated through intentional, repeated practice. What steps can you take today to start building a habit of giving? As we reflect on this lesson, it's crucial to understand that the gift of giving is not just about the act itself, but about the intention behind it. True giving comes from a place of love, compassion, and a genuine desire to help others. It's about making a positive impact, no matter how small, and recognizing that every act of kindness contributes to a greater good. It's about living in alignment with our values and understanding that we are all interconnected. The more we give, the more we receive, not in material terms, but in joy, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose. So, ask yourself, what can you give today? How can you use your unique talents, resources, and time to make a difference in someone else's life? As we conclude this lesson on the gift of giving, remember that every act of giving, no matter how small, creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond what we can see. By choosing to give, we not only enrich the lives of others but also transform our own. We build a life filled with meaning, purpose, and deep, abiding joy. Are you ready to embrace the gift of giving and see how it can change your life for the better? The power is in your hands and the choice is yours. Start today, give generously, and watch as the world and your own life transforms in beautiful, unexpected ways. As we wrap up today's exploration of the 12 powerful Stoic life lessons, I encourage you to take these timeless principles and weave them into the fabric of your daily life. Remember, true growth comes not just from understanding these lessons, but from applying them consistently. Whether it's embracing silence to foster inner peace, practicing gratitude to cultivate happiness, or learning to let go of what we cannot control, each of these teachings offers a pathway to a more fulfilling, balanced, and resilient life. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which lesson resonated most with you today? How do you plan to incorporate Stoicism into your daily routine? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could inspire someone else on their journey. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more content on how ancient wisdom can guide us in modern times. Let's continue this journey together towards personal growth and a deeper understanding of what it means to live well.